Yeah.
What did you make of the episode? What did you make of the debate?
It's not just about getting the degree, it's the life experience that you gain from it. It's the connections that you make. So many life lessons that you will learn.
Do you think in 2021, like, uni is necessary?
Do you know what? You're going to be like, nah, uni was a waste of time. It wasn't a waste of time. You wasted time.
Ooh.
Do you get what I mean? Like, you wasted time.
But do you think uni's for everyone, though?
A lot of work and a lot of companies, they ask you for the experience, but they're not willing to give you the experience.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people use the pandemic as a blanket to kind of sit and do nothing.
Ooh.
But it's like a lot of people excelled through the pandemic. You need to have direction and actually know your career path so that you don't waste time.
Let's just be real. I'm sure we know a lot of people that have gone into university and 6-7 years later, they still ain't got the job that they studied for.
We love Benny McCauley.
Hello, cutie.
Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Fats. I'm back again with another video. Today we have a special guest in the building, okay? She is a social media commentator, a YouTuber, a content creator. I'm so honored to even have her on here. We have Amy in the building. What's good?
Thank you so much. Wow, that was amazing. What an introduction. Thank you. I am blessed. You know, I'm excited to talk about this, get into this topic, and to do it with you, because I feel like the last time we collaborated, it was amazing. Like,
yeah, it was.
The vibe was good. It was good.
Yeah,
I like
it was fire. It was fire. So I had to bring you on my channel.
Of course.
Today we're gonna be discussing the BKCHAT episode, season 5, episode 7.
Yeah.
What did you make of the episode? What did you make of the debate?
Good topic. I thought the topic was really good. Good timing as well, because a lot of people are experiencing uni. You go to uni, or you've been, right?
Yeah, I've been to uni.
Yeah, and I thought this was a good moment, because I think it's something that we've both gone through as well. Both having a social media platform as well, and at a startup level. So I think the topic was good. I think they handled it a lot better. You could hear people's opinions. That was diverse, because they're all at different stages in their lives. Some of them have degrees, some of them don't.
Different perspectives as well.
Different perspectives, yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Said some really cool points.
I honestly liked it as well. I feel like it was different.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had so much of the craziness. Like, can we have topics that actually make sense? Like, can we discuss things that are actually happening, that are happening in the world? Some things like that are relatable to the younger generation, the younger audience, because I know the BKCHAT audience right now are the younger generation, the younger viewers. I feel like they can all relate to it. So I really enjoyed it. I feel like Ikra in the beginning shined through. Like, I feel like she definitely did. But I feel like, what was her name? Sorry. Deanie. That's it. Deanie.
Yeah.
And I feel like Deanie, I feel like everybody else from the girls' side, they actually made some good points in terms of, you know, you don't need uni to be successful. Like, you don't have to have uni to be successful. Like, or because you don't have a degree, it doesn't make you a failure. I feel like, you know, yes, I understand where Ikra was coming from in terms of, yes, you gotta have uni as a backup. But at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe because of the course that I studied, I just feel like you ain't gonna go to uni. Like, you just don't need it. Like, I went to uni. One of the main reasons why I went to uni was because of the experience, because I wanted to live the uni experience life. I wanted to actually, like, experience moving out, the independence, and I also wanted to escape my parents' house. Like, I agreed with Jay in terms of that. Like, I come from a strict household. I come from a strict background, but it was also embedded in me that you also had to go to uni. And if you can't go to uni, I was always told that if you can't go to uni, you can't be successful. That was embedded. That was embedded in me. Now, 5 years on, I know that you don't actually need a degree. So I don't know. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I think one thing that you touched on is their audience. I feel like they do have a relatively young audience. So I think so this was really important, and perspective was really key for this, because a lot of the audience would take notes and be like, okay, I'm actually going to take this on board. I feel like one thing that you did say about parents, about kids literally wanting to leave the home, that's like a big factor. Like, I don't know what student just didn't want to like
Nah, bro.
leave.
I had to duck out. I was like, I need to go. Like, I need
Yeah.
to go. But I'm glad that I did that. You see?
Yeah, I think it's important, and I think everybody kind of goes through it, and that's why I can't remember who said it. They were like, it's important that you go to uni for you. Because when you go to uni, it's a completely different world. Like, you're independent. Yes, like you're, like what they said, it's not just about getting the degree, it's the life experience that you gain from it. It's the connections that you make. So many life lessons that you will learn. I feel like it's not, like you said something about being successful, like it doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. And I think it's important that gets echoed, because that might cause a lot of worries in people, like, oh my gosh, like if I don't go to uni, am I a failure? Like, no, like you're not going to be a failure. I can't remember whether it was Charlotte who said it, but you need to know your career path, like, and you need to know it from a young age. One thing that I don't like what people do is the way that they use age. It's like when it comes to doing certain adult things, age doesn't matter. It's like, when I'm 18, I'm old enough to do this. But then when it comes to certain things, it's like, well, they're too young. Like 18 is still too young. So it's like, which one is it? Like, we need to push our kids to a certain extent when you reach adult years to start thinking about your career, start thinking about what you're doing. Even for minors, like, look at your kids to see what they're doing and nurture that. Because I feel like where people start kind of get mixed up and get confused when it comes to uni, it starts from college. Like, I know people who repeated college or lost so much time in college because they picked the wrong course. Like, they didn't know what they were doing. Because if you pick the wrong course, then when you go to uni, you're going to pick the wrong course. That's going to be a waste of time, a waste of money.
And a lot of them do it.
A lot of people do it, because when people leave school, when they reach sixth form or college, they still have that school mentality and they mess about. They don't take it as serious. Like, after GCSEs, they're like, yeah, cool, I've done my GCSEs. But all of these things count. Like, because if you don't know what you want to do now, when you go to uni, you're going to do something that you're not going to be passionate about or you're not going to enjoy. And then you're going to have wasted time, and you're going to be like, nah, uni was a waste of time. It wasn't a waste of time. You wasted time.
Ooh.
Do you get what I mean? Like, you wasted time.
But do you think uni's for everyone, though? Is uni for everyone?
I don't think uni is for everybody. What was her name? The one who did performing arts.
Yeah.
I did
her name because she's barely there. So
she barely speaks as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I studied performing art. I didn't study performing arts at uni. I studied film studies.
Oh. Okay.
And drama. And I feel like I wish I didn't. I wish that because to me, I feel like it's a talent. Like, you can't teach talent.
Well, of course we can't, because we're here.
It's something that you're born with, and it's something that you can nurture. Now, in film studies, you do learn the business aspects of things. But I went to uni and studied something like psychology or business or something else that I can still use in my media career.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like, well, I kind of wasted time, but I didn't really have that direction. That's what I mean by you need to have direction and actually know your career path so that you don't waste time. Now, there are certain, I feel like there's certain industries and certain sectors where uni is important, like your education is important. And they've said it so many times, being a doctor, surgeon, all of these key areas, like, you need the books. like you do. But there's certain things that you don't need to go to uni. And I think what you said was key. Like, you're not going to be a failure if you don't go to uni.
But do you think, like, going back to the question of the debate, do you think in 2021, like, uni is necessary?
Do you know what? When I was talking about 2021 and the pandemic.
2020, like, do you think it's necessary?
Yeah, like that area, 2020, 2021, and the pandemic was brought up a lot of the time. I feel like the pandemic will pass. To me, I feel like if you look at it from that perspective, like, oh, because of the pandemic, when the pandemic passed, you're gonna kind of be going backwards because it's like, oh, well, now I have to study. Like, I could have been during a pandemic, you could do so many things. Like, there's online courses, you could get your head in the books, but people use the pandemic as a blanket to kind of sit and do nothing. But it's like a lot of people excelled through the pandemic. You get what I mean? Like, so I feel like don't just look at the social media side of things. They said it. I can't remember who said it. Sorry, the names are just like,
I know, because everyone was just pointing out a lot of things. You're like, I don't know. That's why in the beginning I was like, I'm not sure who said what, because everybody was saying some good points. So I'm like,
we're saying very good points. Like, whoever said it, I mean,
I think it was for Lake, because she was speaking a lot of about social media. So it must
like, I mean, like, they did make a good point about it's not selling dreams, it's selling their reality. But in that, there's still a lot of things that they don't tell you how to get there. And I feel like a lot of people, even when she brought up the statistics, like, a lot of people do just want to go on social media. I mean, there was a story I covered a while back of a mum who was basically teaching their kids to be TikTok, to go into that TikTok career and all of that stuff. And it's just kind of like social media, maybe at one point it will die. Like, maybe not everybody will be as successful. Like,
but I think people don't seem to understand when it comes to social media. Everybody's path, everybody's journey is different. Like,
different.
You can start social media today and you can scale off within a month. You can start social media today and then you can scale off in 3 years or 5 years. Like, everybody's journey is different. So people like seem to think, oh, this person's got a penthouse, this person's got a pool in their house, let me start social media. And it's like,
and I feel like people look at social media as a quick rich type of scheme. Like, if I just jump on a video, if I become an influencer, and if I become this, and it's like, even in social media there is a business aspect to it. And if you don't learn anything about business, or like, you're just not you're gonna only get as far as doing a TikTok video. Like, you need to learn management, so many things go behind this.
So much that goes on social media.
Exactly.
But at the same time though, let's just be real. Like, if you look at, like, I'm sure we know a lot of people that have gone into university and 6-7 years later they still ain't got the job that they studied for. They still ain't got the career that they studied for. I do understand why people feel disheartened, because they work their butt off to go to uni. Some people feel like maybe uni is a waste of time, because how is it that I go to uni and I'm still working at Tesco's, I'm still working at Sainsbury's? Or because you go to uni, that doesn't mean you're going to be guaranteed a job straight away. You just not. And it depends on your field. And I do understand why people, like, if you listen to certain people, they'll, like, for certain people they'll say, like, if you hear them say, like, oh, I went to uni, but the job that I'm doing is completely different to what I've studied for. Because perhaps maybe their passion has died out, or there's just no jobs. There's just no jobs out there for people, especially right now in this Rona situation. There's just no jobs. So would you have to say
and I think I would love to know those people's, the process that they went through, like how many interviews, or what happened during the interviews, what was the feedback, like, why didn't you get the job? Because I think it was Namdi, he was talking about being a people's person, and how you present yourself, like, during an interview, and whether people have just the degree but they don't have any people skills, or where people have people skills and they don't have the degree. I think I would love to kind of know, like, an overall. With the pandemic though, I feel like the reason why isn't a lot of jobs or people are struggling for work is because it's a pandemic. Like, aside from the fact that
but people were struggling from before though.
I was going to get to that. People were still struggling, but I feel like people focus so much on the pandemic, like in a negative way. And it's almost like, okay, people are struggling for work, whether they have degrees or don't have degrees. Like, it's not about not having a degree or having a degree. It's just because it's a pandemic. And I think they was talking about the experience. Like, I can't remember who said it, but they were like, you need to have, obviously, experience matters more than like having a degree. But when you actually look at a lot of work and a lot of companies, they ask you for the experience, but they're not willing to give you the experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not willing to give you the experience. So it's kind of like, well, how am I supposed to get experience if you don't even give me the opportunity? But what they might look at first is, what qualifications do you have?
Not a lot of them though.
It depends on the sector. Like, for me, it's like, it depends on the sector that you're going for. Like, what qualifications do you have? Like, and with a lot of courses, you have the what's that gap where you actually go into work? I can't remember what it's called now.
Not apprentice. What is it? Is it trainees, or it's not apprentice?
No, it's not apprentice.
It's something else. I know what you're talking about, but I forgot the name.
Oh God, what is it called? Okay, you could tell that it's been a long time, right?
No, I know what you're talking about, but
But that's basically, if they get it, like, just comment below if you. But I can't remember what it's called. But that's where a lot of people get the experience from, right? For those career paths that do provide that, like, I know a lot of courses do provide that, where you have that gap year and you actually go into work, and a lot of people do actually bag their jobs from that because they continue on working. You build really good relationships and connections, and then they're like, do you know what, actually I want to take you on. So I feel like, for me, all in all, for that question, it's like, it depends on the sector. Like, because some areas you do need to have your degree. They will ask you what qualifications. And I stand with Ikra and Emily, to be honest, because I'm like, it doesn't harm you financially. Yes, it may do. But to have that in the bag, because you might not feel like it's important to you now because your focus is on social media, being an influencer, getting paid off the platforms. But maybe when you have a family and you settle down, you're like, do you know what, actually, I just want to have like a part-time job, and I actually want to start trading in what I studied. You've got that in your back pocket. Do you know what I mean? You're like, do you know what, actually,
that's one thing I will agree on as well. Backup.
It's better to have it than just to not, because you don't know what your life is going to be in 10 years time.
Ikra also mentioned as well that it's important to have multiple streams of income as well. So yes, you're having uni on the side, but also like do different things. So then, like, you know what, you're not just stuck on that one stream of income, especially right now with this whole situation. Like, you gotta have that, multiple streams of income. But at the same time, I feel like, I feel like a lot of the times people just get focused on degree and the studying part, but being at uni is actually a life experience. If you've moved out, you're actually learning a lot, like living with people. I feel like going to uni is actually shaped me for who I am. It's actually toughened me up.
How was your uni experience?
I loved it. It actually shaped me. Like, I moved out at 18, so it literally like toughened me up. It shaped me who I am. I learned a lot of things from other people. I didn't know like basic things like what Charlotte was saying, but I actually learned a lot, and it made me realize a lot of things about myself. And that's how I grew up. Like, I actually learned, like, I'm still here in Birmingham. I went to Birmingham. So I actually, like, it made me realize, you know what, like, the different parts of life, the different stages of life, it actually like taught me so much, and I don't regret it. However, how I feel about uni after I graduate is completely different to how I feel about uni right now.
What did you study?
Childhood studies.
So you didn't like it?
I did when I started. I'm 5 years in. So the passion has died down.
Okay.
It's not for me. I just don't want to do it anymore. I just don't.
But what made you go into it?
because I love children. However, there's more than just loving children. There's also the job aspect, and there's also the environment aspect. There's a lot that goes into it. And I feel like for me, it's just not for me anymore. And I feel like you've got to reevaluate. You got to like reflect on what you really do. And I remember when I graduated, after a year graduated, I'm like, is this life for me? Is that it? Is that all I've got to do? Like, and I'm still young, you know. I'm trying to say, like, I'm still young, and I feel like it's fine. Like, okay, that stage, it's probably died down, but then you can move on to different things. You know, I'm trying to say, like, it's fine, but at the same time, it's just not for me. And I feel like the last 2 years, especially last year, I've realized what I really want to do, and like I've actually like realized what my gift and talent really is. And I've had to explain that to my parents, my African parents, and they're more understanding now than how they were before, because their mindset is, no, get a degree, because if you don't get a degree, then you won't be successful. So I feel like, yeah, my mindset has completely changed. What about you?
Which part? Which question?
Did you go to uni? What did you study?
Yeah, I went to uni. I studied film studies and drama.
Yeah. Are you still on that wave, or are you not feeling it anymore?
100%. Like, I feel like I've always been passionate about the arts.
Yeah.
About media, and I think that's been there from a very young age.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can use that anytime, you know, like I love writing, directing, I love being in front of the camera, behind the camera. And also it's very diverse. I was going to ask you about your course. Is it a course that you can, you know, like some courses, like there's different avenues to it?
Yeah.
Or is it
my course is quite broad, and I did go into different paths, which is why I'm saying that the passion has died down, because I tried different things. And
right.
myself, you know what, this isn't for me. Even though I'm not saying that, oh, every experience has been horrible. I've learned so much. I've enjoyed a majority of the parts of it, but I feel like when it comes to the education sector, you've got to think about your sanity and your peace. And I feel like the salary doesn't match the amount of work that you do. And you've got to think about like yourself as well. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because it wasn't just, oh, I was a teaching assistant, or I was just an early years practitioner. I also worked one-to-one with, you know, special needs kids. So it's like there's a lot that goes into it. And also, like I said, it's a female dominant setting. So it's a female dominant sector. There's a lot that happens. So, and I was young when I went to it. So like I said, it shaped me who I am. It toughened me up. So right now, I definitely want to do a shift career 100%, because I feel like I am done with this sector, even though it's been an experience. But I feel like when it comes to this debate, I definitely agreed with everyone with what they said, even with the question about, you know, applying for 20 jobs in a week and not hearing anything back. Like, I've been through that as well. Like,
very relatable. Yeah,
it's tough. Like, how is it that you go to uni, and then after you go to uni, you're applying for these jobs, and then all these requirements that they're asking, and you're like, wait, hold on, like, did I actually go to uni for this? Like, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Did you look into that before you applied for? Because when you applied, I presume you was more, obviously, a lot younger.
Yeah.
Like, did you look into how much they pay, the environment, like what type of, or you just gonna look at the course and was like, yeah, this is what I want to do?
I was very young and naive, and I went into this thinking, oh my god, this is just so cute. Oh, this is, but some of my family members were like, are you sure you actually want to do this? Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, this is nice. Like, no, are you really sure? Like, have you looked at the salary? Have you looked at, I was like, yeah, it should be fine. It should be fine. And on top of that, I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually from a small town called Milton Keynes. So for me, even though I was going there to get the degree, but at the same time, I wanted to go there and live it up and live the freedom life. So I was more into that as well. So I didn't want to think of, I was in that uni bubble. So I didn't want to think about that till my third year. So for me, I was still young and I was still naive, and I didn't come to reality until I was in the field. And I was like, oh, what have I got myself into? That's what.
Yeah. You know what?
But it's crazy. I mean, I don't regret it. But at the same time, I wish I was very like more I was thinking more about my future and what I really want to do. But the thing is because as well, like I said, I'm from a family that education is very, very key. Whether it wouldn't be an option for me. Like I would have had to go to uni whether or not, like whether I liked it or not, because I was brought into this country to further my education. That's why.
Yeah.
So whether I liked it or not, it had to happen regardless. You know, my mum worked her butt off to bring me here for further education. So I had to make her happy, and I had to make me happy as well in some way.
Yeah. If you had like another choice, like if you had a second choice to pick another course, is there another course that you would have been happy to go to uni to for?
You know what? I've always loved being a talker. I love being on the screen. And I feel like for me, like I would have loved like done something with like radio or journalism. But right now you don't even need the degree to be on radio. But it would have been nice to actually have that experience and do all of that, the practical side, and learn more about the theory side. But I'm not gonna lie to you, my GCSEs weren't that good, so I didn't end up. I would have not been able to get that course. But I wish going back, I would have. I wish I had the confidence to pursue all of that. But my family was so fixated that no, you need to choose something that is, you know, you can get a proper job, because with them that wasn't really the proper job.
Yeah.
So I wish, like when I was, even before I went to uni, I was so like into all of this radio stuff, even the social media stuff, because back then it wasn't that big.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. I'm still young, like I said, but like I said, going back to the topic, I feel like it depends with the sector that you're trying to do, the course that you want to do. And to be honest with you, if I was to have kids, I wouldn't force them to go to uni. As long as they went to school or college, that's fine. But I wouldn't force my child to go to university. At times, I do feel like, is it worth it? Like all that debt. But at the same time, the backup, yes, 100%. Like you need that backup. But yeah, 100%.
I think like a couple of things that you were saying, I think that's really like key to echo that as well, because when you're young and you're picking which career path or which education path you want to go, you don't look at salary, you don't look at what dominates that sector, how you can maneuver around that sector. You don't have a good support system around you to help navigate you through that. You're probably going to end up in situations where you feel like you've wasted your time and you lose passion for it. Because like, especially with salary, our salary evolves all the time, because when you get into adulting, you realize that actually earning, let's say 20k is not enough now. Like I need 25, like I need more and more and more. And if you're young and you just want to go for something that you're just passionate about, you just like, oh my God, I just love kids, but you don't think about all of these things, that could be quite detrimental. It's like relationships. Sorry to go off topic, but just quickly, it's like relationship. Like,
definitely go for it.
Do you know what? Like, it's more than love. Like, we need money. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, we need money. So it changes all the time, and it's important to nurture that from a young age. And for the young people, I think it's important to like listen and actually take on advice and not be like, I just want to leave the house. Like, I just want to be independent. Like, because it's going to affect your life
Listen,
for a very long time. So,
and you know what, as well, there was a lot of red flags that I didn't actually like take up on. Like, I remember when I used to do placement, the people,
I think that's what it's called, actually, placement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it, placement. The people that I worked with, like the people that I used to like the employers, the people that was working, they used to look at me like, why do you want to do this? why is it that you want to do it? And it's like, oh my god, like the kids are just so cute, and they used to look at me like, you are going to regret this, like
Oh
years
my
down the
God.
line. Yeah, because it people think you just play with kids and that's it. No, there's a lot that goes on with it. Like it's a lot. Like there's so much to it, and they
Different
used to look at me like,
territory.
you're so like you can be doing so much more than this. Like they used to look at me like, no, go for something more.
Yeah.
And I wish I listened, because I feel like, I'm not saying that I regret it, but I would have been so much further on if I actually like thought really like, do I really want to do this? So definitely I feel like from young, like to all the younger viewers out there, definitely like literally like, think through what you really want to do. Don't just be like, oh, I don't know, I'm still young. No, literally think through like, what is it that you really want to do?
Yeah. Do you think I can't remember who made the point, whether it was Charlotte, they made a point about the Black community and the business world, how, you know, this was something that was deprived from us.
Yeah.
When you look at history, do you think that's had an impact on how we mentally view education?
100%. I definitely agreed with that. 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to even in the Black community, like there's certain things that I'm not saying it's a taboo, but it's like they don't educate you when it comes to things like that. They just feel like Ikra was saying, it's like, you know, getting an education is a way out of poverty, and when it's like, no, there's so much more than just education. And I feel like for some people, yes, like it's definitely accomplishment for a lot of people. Like, yeah, like getting that education, getting that job, getting that graduate job, which is amazing. But there's a lot more than you can do that you can, you know, get away out of poverty as well. So I feel like with the Black community, it's important, like we can all educate ourselves and educate each other, you know, how to get other forms of income, other sources of incomes, and other avenues. Don't just stick to just one thing, because like right now you can't just depend on just that one thing. You just can't.
100%. But do you think, like, to an extent, it's kind of made us as Black people a bit lazy, like mentally, because we've got that in our bloodstream about being deprived from education? So when we think about education, we think about reading, we think about dissertation, we think about writing, all of those things being focused in the books. Like automatically we're like inclined to not kind of go down that direction because of the residues from maybe our history and what we've had to go through. Like, I wonder if that's had an impact on the education rate within the Black community. Because when you think about it, like in Africa or in the Caribbean or like back home, education is like literally like we thrive, like we excel, like, but I don't know, like I'm always thinking, like, do we have a lazy mentality because of our history?
I feel like for a lot of people that's probably the case. I don't think it's all though. I feel like 100%. For majority, 100%. I feel like people just don't want to try or don't want to see the other side, just because they're stuck in what they know, and they don't want to see, well, maybe if I can educate myself in other aspects, I can change my life. But they're so stuck on like what they know. That's how I feel like.
Yeah. What did you think of NK? Because he was giving me like, I don't know. Because I think he asked him a question like, why did you go to uni? Because he was like, uni's a waste of time or something like that. But I feel like he was just waffling, you know, like he was, why did you go to uni? Can you answer that question?
But do you not think probably perhaps people weren't giving them the chance to actually answer the question?
No, please. NK, the chance. Come on, man. This guy is always talking about.
You never know.
Sometimes it just doesn't make sense, man. It's like, I mean, I don't know. For me, I was like, you just answer the question, like, why didn't you go to uni? Like, you're making very strong points. And the reason why it's important for that conversation to have been balanced is because, number one, obviously the audience and people are actually going through this. And he's always waffling, like, somehow. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it needs to be balanced. Like, because I don't want it to be such a negative thing, like uni.
Yeah.
because of what people's personal experiences are, or the pandemic, or like there needs to be a
They
positive
kept
spin
mentioning
on
about
it.
the pandemic quite a lot though.
Yeah,
but I feel like with Namdi, he brought it to a point where, you know, for him it was like it was an accomplishment for him, the fact that he went to uni. Yes, I'm in debt, but at the end of the day, you know, I got that degree and it makes me happy. For some people, it is what it is. Like, I got that degree, it makes me happy, I enjoyed the course. But then for other people, it's like, listen, I went to uni and it was a waste of time. And for NK, yes, he says it was a waste of time, and you know, oh, he couldn't answer the question. For some people really think it's actually a waste of time, like, for real. Like, but at the same time, this is why you need to know what you want to do, what you want to study. With Jay, he mentioned that he thought that it would be a waste of time, but then, you know, I feel like with Jay, he made great points, but I feel like sometimes he just goes too far, and he's always talking about all the sexual stuff. Okay, we get it, Jay, like, we understand, like, okay, cool, you all right, we get it. But some people don't go to uni for that. Some people actually go there to actually study. Okay, so it's like,
you saying about Freshers Week, like, well, you know, you know, with Jay,
but
yeah, it's like, it's not all about that. You could definitely tell where his mind is at.
Yeah, his mind is somewhere else, and I feel like he was doing too much on the confessions. Like, okay, we get it. Like, every single
fire extinguisher, right?
Yeah, like everybody else, like all the people are trying to bring some like legit like knowledge, and you're bringing a fire extinguisher. Like, really?
But you know, I feel like with Jay, I feel like he kind of showed us a little side to him last week when he mentioned about his mum. I feel like he just didn't have that opportunity. Like, he's had a very distinctive growing up, or like there's so much to him. That's obviously framed his mind, or framed the person that he is today. And I think a lot of it does come from maybe like a dark space, or a lot of not, I wouldn't say trauma, but a lot of things that he's experienced. So maybe for somebody like that, they've not had the opportunity to go to uni. And it's not so much the fact that like he chose not to or whatever, it's just the circumstance didn't allow him to. I think he hides a lot behind this persona that he puts out. And maybe that's his way to cope, and his way to kind of move on. And just, I think that's what I see with him a lot. It's just kind of like, now I'm just like, there's a story behind you, but it's okay, you don't have to talk to us, you know.
But this is why the production needs to bring like other topics, like last week's topics, so they can bring out the other side to them, like with the whole going back to the you know, the whole topic with Brandon and
homosexual.
That was a good topic, and they brought out their experiences and things like that. And they need to have other topics for other people, but then maybe Jay needs to bring a topic forward for them so they can speak on it, like how Brandon did, you know. That would be interesting. And then we can see the other side to them, because I feel like, yes, we love the jokey side, but what's in that? What's in there? Like, I know there's something in there.
We need to feel this substance. And I think it's important because so many people are going through things, and I think they'll be shocked at how people actually like draw to their individual stories. And I think they need to know that it's okay to share that. Like, it's okay to be transparent. Like, it's okay to share your testimony, because I think that will touch a lot more people than this thing that they just, I don't know, this thing that they do, like just shouting and bringing out all of these props and all of that. And it just makes it all like, it just makes it like gimmicky. And it's like, we want to know your story. It's like Castillo. It's like, we've seen Castillo, we've heard his story, so people can take him a lot more seriously. Even though he can come on, he could be like, big man thing, like and joke about, but because we know his story, a lot of people can relate to him.
What would you rate the topic, the debate, out of 10?
Do you know, I'll probably give it 7.5.
Whoa, 7.5. Why 7.5?
Because I thought it was good. I thought the topic was
7.5. That's like,
Was that not good?
That's more good than average. Like what? Like there's something
Yeah.
you gotta bring an in depth. Like why is it not a 9? Why is it not an 8?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's good. It's better than average. It's not a 9 or a 10 because I feel like uh, it could have been. They could have given more, like more depth, more substance. And I don't know why I'm always looking for this on Backchat because everyone always says it like you're not going to find this on Backchat. But I have faith in these people. Like when I see topics like this, I'm like engaged. I'm hearing the stories. Each individual had their story to tell, and it was great. You know, you had oh my god, what's her name? She was talking about she's a manager.
Ezza.
Ezo, yeah.
I love Ezza, man. I love her.
Yeah, we had Ezo who, you know, she was coming in with her experience, which is really good because it's true. Sometimes you don't have the experience, but you build yourself up. That there are certain companies where you can build yourself up, like you can progress, you know.
But that's only for certain companies. Some companies, they won't even give you that opportunity.
Yeah, they won't. And you know, it's that each individual had a story to tell. They had their own journeys. I love Ikra. She's, you know, been doing her business, and I'm all for building multiple streams of income, and I will preach that all day long. I love Emily. I love his passion because one thing that he did say is like, yes, it's great to teach entrepreneurship and to build your own business, but what's wrong with people who just want to work like for somebody? Like that shouldn't be frowned upon. Because business is not for everybody, or it's really not.
Well,
So
how did you feel about Brandon this episode?
Brandon, do you know what? He was a bit forgotten. Because I'm pretty sure he said like 3 words.
I'm dead.
I love.
Do you feel like Queen Monty should have been voted off?
I feel like Jay Deanne should have been voted off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what she was saying, there was not much substance to what she was saying. It was just kind of like she had a point though, but Monty, I mean, she was cool.
Do you think Lani and Gade was missed in this episode?
No.
Why not?
I don't think this one. I don't think I didn't miss
Lani screaming the whole time. Let's just be real.
I didn't miss Lani in this episode. And Gade, I feel like Gade is just I feel like he's in a weird space. I don't know. I'm just picking up a vibe. Huh?
Weird vibe from Gade or weird energy?
Not weird energy. Like I just feel like I don't know.
There's something going on.
Yeah, so that's all I think about. I'm just like, I hope he's okay. But I mean, he probably would have had a lot to say because obviously he's like they all are anyway. Pretty much.
He's been offending people lately, so.
Huh?
He's been offending people lately in these episodes.
Really? Well, yeah, with some things that he said, but no, I didn't miss any of them. I think this was a good cast for this episode. Yeah, for sure. I feel like it was a nice balance. I think I would have took out what's his name? The extinguisher guy. What's his name?
Oh, Jay.
Yeah, I would have took him out. But yeah, I think it was balanced. What about you?
I feel like everyone was quite good. I don't feel like Queen Monty should have been voted off. I feel like she had good points, but I feel like Falaki should have not been voted off. I feel like some of the men's side were hating.
I know. What was that about? It's like she's got a degree.
Like no, they were being haters.
I didn't feel any two way, but I didn't feel like she was overdoing it.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Like
I don't know what he was talking about.
Nah, that was ridiculous. I liked what Shana said though. There's nothing like I always love what Shana says, but for Lucky, she should have not been voted off. I feel like maybe it could have been is it
JDM?
Yeah, maybe her. But then I don't feel like she should have been voted off. Brandon definitely should have been voted off because, like I said, he didn't add much.
No.
But I feel like from the boys' side, I feel like Namdi definitely shined through. The girl side, definitely Ikra, Folake, Shala. Like, I feel like pretty much everyone did. It was a nice balance, but I feel like back chat, please. Trend Central, please. Can we pick it up? We are on the mid-season. What
Yeah.
is going on, please? Like, how are you
What do you
finding
think
this
of it
season?
in general, like back chat in general? Because I feel like I'm kind of going off it.
Yeah, same. I
I'm
haven't
over
really
it
seen it as
now.
much. I feel like with this topic, I was like, I need to bring Amy on here and we need to discuss something because I was like, we need to collab. But I feel like just in general, it started off lit and now it's just like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
but like, how are you finding the season so far?
I'm still waiting for this episode with Ikra that they put out a long time ago. And I'm like, are they going to air that? Do you know the episode I'm talking about where she made this comment that was like, oh my gosh, everybody's... Where is that episode? Like, that's what I need
Well,
to see.
from what I've heard, it's behind the scenes. So we don't know if we're going to see it.
Oh my God, that's what we need.
But the thing is, if you're gonna put something from behind the scenes, why are you putting it on the damn trailer?
Yeah, that's true.
Bring it on the debate. Like just like how you brought that whole situation with Gade and
Is it Monty?
no, oh my god, that was crazy. No, no, Gade had that. Wait, Gade and who was it that he had the situation with? That whole homophobia.
Not Michael.
These names. What was that guy's name? Oh my god, it was. That's how you know that it's starting to go. Like, what's going on? What's his name? The one that he
Emmanuel.
Got it and Emmanuel. Yeah, Got it and Emmanuel. Like they need to bring a
so
situation like
done.
spice it up a little bit. You know, you're giving us these luster episoes. We need a fire. We need some blue therapy energy up in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I think how we were just like, what?
Who are these people? And we've been reacting to them
because we don't even know these names at this point.
It's the heat, you know. The heat gets to your brain sometimes.
Crazy.
Nah, do you know what? I don't know. I feel like maybe because blue therapy came and then everybody
just shut it all down.
Yeah, and it just took away like back and then with the shouting, it's really like I think sometimes when you watch the episode, it's quite draining. Like after you can feel quite
you can
feel like exhausted from watching it. Yeah. Also, because there's been delays sometimes with them dropping videos, it just kind of puts people off. Though I do get it, you know, with sometimes things happen, but I think it's happened a few times and it's put
been
people
5 seasons now.
Yeah. Girl is counting like
no, but I mean like come on, like I know there are an independent production. I totally get it. That's why I support it even more. But come on, guys, like can you not like do like a day before and put it on private, perhaps? Like
that's what somebody actually did suggest. Yeah.
I would like to say thank you so much, Amy, for coming on my platform. Like honestly, all the points that you were bringing today, I was like, yes. Like you literally like pull through. I really appreciate it. Honestly, like it means a lot. But any last words? Where can they find you?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me again. It was amazing as usual. Find me on YouTube. Mainly, I'm on YouTube. That's what I do all day, every day. Be Amy. That's it. Instagram, I'm active on there as well. Be Amy. Yeah. So that's it. That's me. Thank you so much. I've had a blast, honestly.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. She is on the road to 10K. Okay, so you better follow her. If you're not following her, what are you doing? Please.
Thank you so much.
On your next video.
Yes, and also thank you for you guys on your platform for having me as well.
That's amazing. But yeah, see you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.